Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Katawa Shoujo, and we are now going on to Yamaku again. We are just now finished our trip to Hokkaido, where we did a lot more than confess our feelings between Lilly and Hisao, let me tell you that. So we're going to go back to the momentary present. After a chaotic dash to the station, finding our seats in the otherwise deserted carriage, we promptly crashed. Looking at the time, close to midnight, it's a little surprised that few take this particular train. Why are we going back in the middle of the night? Hanako is fast asleep on Lily's shoulder, and I can barely muster the energy to stay awake. The excitement we had a while ago probably didn't help. So we were late rushing to the train because we had a little woohoo rendezvous in the bathtub. My goodness, Lily, make us late. Make us miss the train. I'd probably be pretty depressed about going back to school if my brain was actually working. As it is, though, the sight of the nighttime scenery scrolling by is surprisingly beautiful. My loud yawn is nearly wholly drowned out by the clacking of the train tracks and the old carriages rattling. So tired. And whose fault is that, Hisao? Oh, don't you give me that. You kept me up with your wiles. She really does toe the line between insulting and amusing sometimes. Though I managed to wring out a weary smile. I look back out the window, my reflection just visible on the clear pane. Truth be told, she's perfectly correct. If it weren't for that little interlude a few hours ago, both of us would have had a lot more energy. On top of that, we both had to take another bath, very nearly making us late for the train's departure. See, I call these things like I can pick them out before they even happen. Man, I could just write this stuff. Because I've seen too many movies, read too many books, seen too many shows. Like, I know what's coming. I can just predict these things. Oh my goodness. Call me jaded. I don't know. Yeah, it was mine. Still getting into a bath with a guy is a dangerous thing to do, you know. Evidently. Oh, she's being oh, this is banter. This is good banter right now. Sorry, I guess I kind of took advantage of the situation back there. Oh no, you... She did. She took you by the nose and she's like, you just come with me, little boy. I'll lead you around. That's what she did. Well, I didn't exactly hate it. As she trails off, I look back to her. My eyes narrow as I see her slightly reddened cheeks and small grin, her mind obviously elsewhere. Say it. I knew the possibility of it happening was there. Ah, gosh, Lily. Terrible. I knew it. You're just as dirty-minded as I am. She quickly coughs into her free hand, making her disapproval crystal clear. That's a rather crude way of putting it. Oh, and you would suggest? I merely have a healthy adolescent sex drive. So in other words, dirty-minded. Almost seeming to sense the moment, Hanako mumbles quietly as she furrows her brow in Lily's lap. Lily's look of disapproval melts away as she gently smiles and strokes her hand on Hanako's long dark hair. All I can do is watch and smile. If someone were to ask me when I fell in love with her, I wouldn't be able to answer. The best I'd be able to come up with is just happened at some point, but I didn't realize it. If someone were to ask me why I love her, though, then I could answer much more easily. You really love Hanako, don't you? She gives a deep nod, smiling warmly. It's a pity we have to return to school. She seems to relax so much while we were all away. Now, why are you giving me this option? Talk about school? Talk about Hanako? I thought we were talking about Hanako. And then all of a sudden now I got to change the subject by talking about school? I don't really see the significance of this particular choice here. It'd be odd for me to just switch subjects to school, especially considering how much Hanako means to Lily. So, Hanako? I don't know. I wouldn't worry. Hanako's been gaining confidence thanks to you, at least for as long as I've known you two. She gives a self-deprecating sigh. I think I merely provided her with company and support. Since she came to know you, she's opened up much more, even to me. I get the feeling she's understating her influence on Hanako, especially given that before the two came to know each other, Hanako had no friends to speak of. The friends I'd had in my previous school fulfilled what I'd have expected of them, for the most part simply being there for idle chatter, but in Hanako and Lily, there really seems to be more to their relationship. A part of me envies it. But another can't ignore the fact that the school year will eventually end. After graduation, I really have no idea what Hanako will do. This trip has shown me just how much we've all come to depend on one another. Indeed, we're all going to have to make some decisions. Maybe that's the reason why, despite our return to school after heralding a return to the normalcy of everyday life, I can't help feeling a little restless. On the bright side, it won't take long for the summer holidays to arrive after our exams are finished. We could come back here during the summer holidays if you want. For a moment, she thinks on the notion, her face becoming somewhat distant. I can only guess she's reflecting on all that's happened here. That would be good, I think. I nod approvingly, smiling at her. Summer, together with Lilly. This idea seems like the perfect way to spend our holiday. Whoa! That is an extremely, extremely short episode. Act 4, Future. Okay. That turned out to be a lot shorter than I thought. It was just the train ride home. So, okay, we are now in Act 4, and just based on the naming of the acts, where Act 2 was past, Act 3 is present, and now we're in Act 4 future. I almost want to say Act 4 is the final act, just based on the naming scheme that I've seen here. So, this could be the last part of the game. We could be nearing the end of this story between this relationship, but I don't know. Slow steps for a waltz? I wonder what this is all about. So yeah, that happened. We are now back in school, and it's now to everyday life, and it looks like now Hisao is going to be looking towards the future and figuring out what he probably should be doing with his life, not just with Lilly and progressing that relationship forward, but also with his actual career, with his life, what he's actually going to be doing for a living. Because, you know, this heart condition can't be holding him back forever. He has to move forward. He has to live day by day and continue to live for himself before he can live for anyone else, Lilly and Hanako included. So there's got to be some major decisions to be had here, and Hiso's going to have to step up to the plate and make them. So we'll see if we get a couple more choices here and guide, you know, Hisao in that direction. I don't know. Are there bad endings in this game? I don't even know. I mean, I don't know if you can die in this game. I don't know if you can have good endings, bad endings, neutral endings. I have no idea. But I know there's different endings because there's one for each girl, but I just don't know if there's like individual endings inside of, you know, those separate stories. Either way, that was a quick episode. I'm sorry it's not going to be a long video this time, but I'll catch you on the other end, and we'll start Act 4 next video. See you later.